Atlanta Falcons, Super Bowl 39 champions, took down the Indianapolis Colts 24-14. Now, the Lombardi lives in Atlanta. The goal is to keep it there. What's good, everybody? It's your boy 5 Wars Deke. Welcome back to the 2K5 Atlanta Falcons franchise. Did a full simulation offseason. And of course, that does come with some retirements. Edward Jasper, Lane, and Atkins all chose to hang it up, and they earned it. Look, they get to walk out on top. Won the Super Bowl. Go out on top. I don't blame them, but we will miss them. That does lead to some decisions, though, for the rest of this roster. So you guys remember Dez White, right? If you don't, this guy came onto the scene as a huge deep threat. Huge deep threat. Scored 3 touchdowns in the first half against the Saints. You're seeing a couple of them right now. Well, we tried to trade him. We did. We tried to trade him. Tried to trade him for Ashley Lee, who did end up playing for the Falcons in real life, but the Broncos were not going for it, okay? We tried to give him a 3rd-round pick and Dez White. They said no. Then we said, okay, how about Dez White, a 2nd-round pick, and our 3rd-string running back? All for Ashley Lee. And they still said no. Couldn't believe it, but a no is a no. So then we said, all right, well, let's try to get a running back. So we tried to move Dez White and Warrick Dunn to Carolina for Deshaun Foster. I wanted a true 1-2 punch with Foster and TJ Duckett. I think Carolina kind of understood the assignment and was like, yeah, if we do that, y'all gonna be OP. So they weren't really going for that, which is okay. I understand that. I respect that. But Warrick Dunn don't really do much for us right now. And I feel like they could have used Warrick Dunn and Steven Davis. Like, I don't see that as an issue, but hey, it is what it is. So they said no. So we weren't able to make any trades at first. But then we did strike a deal with the team we beat in the Super Bowl, the Indianapolis Colts. We traded Aaron Beasley for Bob Sanders. How about that? Bob Sanders. And in exchange, we just switched our 3rd-round picks. They were going to pick 95th. We were picking 96. It's literally one spot. It's one spot in the 3rd round. That's nothing. So they got Beasley. We got Sanders. We have a new strong safety. But here's the bad news, okay? Too many strong safeties. That's Pruitt, Sanders, and Scott. And if you remember, Brian Scott made the game-sealing interception in the Super Bowl and the game-winning interception in the divisional round of the playoffs against the Buccaneers. So I had to make some shake. There's too many guys. We also got Keon Carpenter, whose contract is expiring. He didn't want to re-sign, worth nothing. The brother did not want to re-sign. So now we got to make some moves and try to find a new safety. Couldn't do that, but we ended up trading Scott for defensive end Reggie Hayward out of Denver. So we gave them a 4th-round pick, and I was deciding, like, I wanted a draft pick. I didn't really want another player. Ended up settling, I think a 6th-round pick was fine. So we gave them Scott and a 4th-round pick. They gave us Hayward and a 6th-round pick, which ended up being pretty useful. In my book, I wanted to upgrade the pass rush. I thought our secondary was great, and they will continue to be great, but wanted to upgrade that pass rush. And then I wanted to give Michael Vick a backup running back. Cordell Stewart, been in the league 11 years. Listen, similar style, older, been around the block. You know, he knows some things. I wanted him to have kind of an older mentor. This dude didn't want to be a Falcon worth nothing. I mean, he just straight up just didn't want to be a Falcon. I tried all kinds of stuff. He wanted way too much money. It's too late, bro. You're not going to start, and you're not going to start over Michael Vick. I never really understood that. So that was kind of what we did during free agency and the re-signing period. Just try to make some moves here and there. So yeah, after all of that, I think either I lost the recording or I didn't record the rest of the offseason. But after it all, the free agency, the draft, the re-signing period, all of those things, we do have a final roster for the 2005 NFL season. And of course, Michael Vick is our starting quarterback. Matt Schaub is his backup, but behind him is a rookie, Jake Washington, a guy who's a bit of a dual threat guy. We're still working on his arm. Throughout the preseason, he showed some inaccuracy, but he does have the ability to use his legs and extend plays, scramble for a 1st down if he needs to. So if it came down to it and Vick did get hurt, I would put Washington in the game before I put Schaub in the game. Or, to be honest with you, depends on the situation. If I need somebody to throw, I might just put Schaub in. But if I need a guy who can just manage a 1st and 2nd down, I might put Washington in there. So we'll see. But hopefully Vick just never gets hurt, because why would I want Michael Vick getting hurt, you know? Again, we were unable to trade Warrick Dunn, so he is still the running back alongside TJ Duckett. TJ Duckett will start this year. In spurts, we'll use Dunn. We'll see what we can do And then there's Quincy Wilson, the third string guy, second-year pro out of West Virginia. Don't expect to see much of him. This is pretty much the TJ Duckett show. I would have still liked to have a guy like Deshaun Foster. I think I would have considered maybe a Larry Johnson out of Kansas City to be the number 2, but I think those guys are just really expensive. If you look at our cap room there at the bottom, we only have $2.45 million in cap space. So I want to save that cap space for as long as I can. I want to be able to have some value, but I want to be able to afford guys in case of emergency. And then when the free agency period comes, I want to be able to build a team. You know, I want to be able to say, all right, we got some guys who are costing too much money, who don't do much, and I want to be able to pay for some people. So as of right now, the biggest value is TJ Duckett. We're not even paying this guy $1 million per year. And it would cost more to cut him than to keep him. And he's our starting running back. Meanwhile, Warrick Dunn, we're paying this guy $2.29 million, and it would cost $2.9 million to get rid of him. So we're just going to keep him for now. Why not? Justin Griffith is our fullback. He is the only fullback. I think he did pretty well, especially in the postseason. He can open up some lanes, so I like what we have at fullback. I just wish we had some depth, but it's all good. I think if it ever came down to it, TJ Duckett could be just a fine fullback. This position has the most depth on this roster. The wide receiver position does not lack at all. Peerless Price, still the number 1 guy. He is now in his 7th year out of the University of Tennessee. Michael Jenkins will be the number 2. He's now in his 2nd year out of Ohio State. Des White, couldn't trade him, as you saw, so he is still on the team. Now he's 6-year pro out of Georgia Tech. Brian Finneran still here. Rookie, Bill Riley. I like this guy. He's going to be a kick returner this year. He's got a lot of speed, a lot of potential. He could be a deep threat. We tried to test it a little bit in the preseason. It's not there yet, but hopefully throughout the season in spurts, we'll be able to use him. But right now, as long as Des White, Michael Jenkins, Peerless Price are still here, the Falcons can still stretch the field. Another rookie, Brad Griffith, out of North Carolina. A guy that I like, not as much as Riley, if I'm being honest. See, coaches don't say that. Coaches will never say, I don't like this guy as much as the other guy, but I'm being honest with you. After playing through the preseason, Griffith is a guy who I like less than Riley. He's not the fastest. He's more of a possession receiver, I believe, so you're not going to see a lot of him this year. And Woodrow Dantzler, look, he's here for depth. He's just a guy who we can use on special teams. And, hey, if for some reason everybody gets hurt, he's there. So it's good to have that depth. I like this position a lot. Algie Crumpler, you can tell by the look on his face, he's not very happy. He only had, six or 9 catches last season. I mean, he had a catch in the Super Bowl. I'll give him that. He had a catch in the Super Bowl, but he should be happy. He should be happy this year. I'll explain why in just a moment. But he's our starting tight end. He's got 1 year left on his contract, and his backup is Derek Rackley. So Crumpler, hopefully we can turn that frown upside down, make you a little bit happy this year, and I'll explain why in just a second. At center, starting is Todd McClure, Mud Duck out of LSU. He's going to stay there. He's been really good. He's been really, really good. Our starting guards are Kanan Forney and Eric Beverly, 2 veteran guys who have been in the league for a while, so they know the land. They know how this goes. We need them to do their thing. We also have some depth with Steve Herndon and Dustin Clayton, the rookie. I'm extremely excited about our tackle group. I mean, look, a lot of experience at your tackle position is, I mean, there's no price that is sufficient, to be honest with you. You got to have some tackles, and we've got some tackles on this team. Todd Weiner, 8th year pro out of Kansas State. We signed Orlando Brown, now in his 11th year out of South Carolina State, just like Solomon Daniels. Hey, shout out to Solomon Daniels. We'll have another video on him, give an update on that offseason coming up later this week. And Bob Whitfield as well, and now in his 14th year out of Stanford. So a lot of experience on this offensive line, especially at the tackle position, so I'm excited about that. Keep Michael Vick clean. That's the number 1 goal. So shout out to Edward Jasper. He did retire, and he does retire on top. Got a Super Bowl ring, so congrats to him. Ellis Johnson, 11th year pro out of Florida, will be our number 1 defensive tackle. Rod Coleman out of East Carolina, he is our number 2. A lot of veteran guys on this team is what you're probably noticing. They've been in the league for a while, which is fine. I think that's okay for right now. When you have an older group like this, Travis Hall, Dwayne Edwards, Alex Murphy, the rookie out of Texas, we're hoping he can develop into somebody in a couple of years because, hey, as you saw, a lot of these guys are a little bit older. So as these guys get older and they decide, I might retire, or hey, I think I'm done, I want some of the young guys that we drafted to step up. I do. I want to step up, but also, again, with that cap room, I need the money. I need the money. Okay, we're trying to win, what did I say? At least three Super Bowls over the next 5 years. We're trying to win 5 Super Bowls max. Super Bowl windows are pretty tight in the NFL. They don't last very long. You've got about a year or 2, maybe 3, yeah, but that's kind of stretching it. And Tom Brady is the exception to literally all of that. So, people using him as an example just doesn't count for anything. But as long as we got Michael Vick, our window, I believe, is open slightly. The experience is on the outside as well at defensive end. Patrick Kearney, 7th-year pro out of Virginia. Brady Smith, now in his 10th year in the NFL out of Colorado State. We traded for Reggie Hayward, as you saw earlier, 5-year pro out of Iowa State. So that'll help in terms of like a defensive end rotation if we need it, because I want to be able to rush the passer this year. Got to be able to rush the passer. And then Kayron Riley is now a 5th-year pro out of Minnesota. You guys know I love the linebacker position on this team. Chris Draft is still here. Matt Stewart is still here. Both guys have experience. Both guys can go sideline to sideline. I love what they bring to this team. Keith Newman is great. Great special teams guy. Great depth at the outside linebacker position. And Demario Williams isn't too far behind, right? He's now in his 2nd year out of Nebraska. He's not too far behind. So he's one of those young guys I'm looking at. Hey, if somebody gets hurt, or if one of these guys says, you know what, I think I'm done with football, he's one of those people that I'm going to be looking forward to stepping up. It's just part of the game. That's how football goes. Next man up mentality. At inside linebacker, Keith Brooking is our MLB, now in his 8th year out of Georgia Tech. Terrence Robinson will be his backup. Brooking, look, if you're a real Falcons fan, you know all about Brooking. Brooking is a guy who ran sideline to sideline before Debo. You know what I mean? He's a guy who did exactly what needed to be done during his prime years with the Falcons, and I appreciate him for everything he did for the Atlanta Falcons in real life and everything he's doing in this franchise here in 2K5. So I look forward to some good things with Brooking. He's not the best cover guy, but he can stuff the run. And to be honest, that's fine with me, because we're about to get to our secondary, and our secondary is, oh my goodness. D'Angelo Hall, now in his 2nd year out of Virginia Tech. He will be one of the cornerstones of this franchise, along with Michael Vick, Michael Jenkins possibly, Jason Webster. Hey, you guys know, this guy made the most clutch interceptions of the season. The interception against the Giants, the interception against the Buccaneers. Hey, this brother right here impressed me. I love having him locked down for 5 more years. We'll see if he can stay at that level for 5 more years, because he's a 7th-year pro now. But, hey, a 1-2 punch right here, these brothers right there are one of the best tandems. They're one of the best tandems in the NFL. They got to be. Todd McBride, 7th-year pro out of UCLA. He's great depth. Kevin Mathis out of Texas A&M Commerce, now in his 9th year in the NFL. But our slot guy is this young brother right here. Angelo Estrada, the rookie out of Indiana. Now, he may not seem impressive, right? Only 6 foot, 212 pounds, but listen to me now. This young man right here, in our final preseason game, had 3 interceptions. 3 of them. The best way to describe this brother, sticky. He's sticky. I couldn't believe he was still on the draft board. He was still on our draft. This is our 1st overall pick this year, if you didn't know. We drafted this guy in the 1st round. This young man, he is good. He is good. Okay, you can look at his rating. You can look at whatever you want to. He's good. He is good. And in the slot, he will do what needs to be done. I can assure it. We've got D'Angelo Hall. We've got Webster. Estrada is going to be special. I'm telling you, if you don't fall in love with this guy by the end of the season, that means he is a bust, which I don't believe he is. So I'm saying you're going to love this guy by the end of the season. I wish quarterbacks test him. I wish they test him. Please. Starting strong safety, Bob Sanders, now in his 2nd year out of Iowa. That is a complete steal, because we know what he's going to turn into. Okay, the Colts, I can't believe they let him go, but hey, we know this guy's going to be a stud. So we love having him here in Atlanta. I don't know exactly what he'll do in terms of interception numbers, but him in coverage, the way he can hit, the way he can cover the run, that's enough for me right now. And at free safety, 7th-year pro out of Fresno State, Corey Hall is our number 1. Max Hopkins, a rookie out of Wyoming, is number 2. And number 3, Sean Wooden for depth reasons. I like what Hopkins brings to the table. He has a lot of potential, but definitely nowhere near the level we need him to be if we're talking about a significant playing time type of guy. He'll be just fine on special teams right now. Corey Hall is still the man. We'll see what Hopkins does. He was okay in the preseason. He was just okay, but we'll see what he does. We'll see what he does. But Corey Hall, he should be just fine. Our secondary, I don't anticipate to be a problem. That's why I wanted the pass rush to upgrade, because if we're rushing quarterbacks and we're forcing them to make quick throws, I am so sure that we can pick off passes. We did it a lot last year. At kicker, Jay Feely, that's not going to change. He was pretty good. All right, guy was decent. Didn't really need him to win a game last year. Wasn't really necessary, but he's a guy who can kick pretty well. You know, he's decent. He ain't no Justin Tucker. Y'all saw what Justin Tucker did? He ain't gonna make no 66-yard field goal. Jay Feely can't do that. Justin Tucker wasn't in the league yet. So for right now, Jay Feely, I'm cool with that. And at punter, Chris Moore, now in his 17th year out of Alabama. Oh my goodness. 17th year. This I don't know if this is the last year he's our punter, but he's not making too much money right now. I ain't really tripping off of it. I didn't want to get rid of him. I was like, hey, you want to stay a Falcon? He said, yeah. He didn't mind it. He just got a Super Bowl ring, right? Dude got a ring. And how many times did we punt a Super Bowl? I mean, maybe once, two, maybe twice. He didn't have to do much. He's just winning a ring, just sitting on the sideline. I'd want to be a Falcon too right now. This is the best time to be a Falcon. So that was a look at the roster. Now we are taking a look at our 2005 regular season schedule. They did the rotation wrong. That's all I'm going to say. The rotation here is wrong. We are not supposed to be playing the NFC West again. Played them last year. We're not supposed to be playing the West. We're supposed to be playing, I believe, if I remember this correctly, we are supposed to be playing the NFC North in 2005. That's part of the, the schedule rotation with the divisions and all that. We're supposed to be playing the NFC North. However, we're not. We're playing the West again. Kind of upsets me because I wanted to play Green Bay. I wanted to play Minnesota. I wanted to play Detroit again. I wanted to play Chicago. I really did. But here we are playing the West again. However, we will start the season at home. That's what Super Bowl champions do. And we're playing the New Orleans Saints. And you know I get personal when it comes to playing the Saints, especially in the Georgia Dome. Hit the road, taking on the St. Louis Rams. Then we're back at home, taking on the San Francisco 49ers, a team we beat in Week 1 in 2004. At Tampa Bay. Now, Tampa Bay is a new team this year, all right? They look a little bit different. It was a tough matchup last year. This year, I don't know if they got it like that. Because I think Brad Johnson's gone. I'm pretty sure Brad Johnson is no longer their quarterback. We stay on the road, hit Carolina, take them on in Carolina, of course. Back at home, taking on Seattle Seahawks, a rematch of the NFC Championship. We hit the road to play the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, that's going to be a good one. Falcons, Steelers, okay now, I ain't mad at that. Have a bye week after that. We return home to take on the Baltimore Ravens. That'll be a good matchup. A rematch with the Carolina Panthers at the Dome. We hit Cleveland to take on the Browns. Go to Dallas to play the Cowboys. Back at home, taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. At Arizona, that'll be an interesting matchup there with Larry Fitzgerald in the secondary. And then we hit New Orleans to play the Saints for the second time. And then we have the Vikings, which I like. I like that. But again, I really wanted to play that entire division. So Randy Moss versus D'Angelo Hall, just go ahead and circle that now. And then we end the season in the Georgia Dome against the Cincinnati Bengals. When you talk about interesting matchups, I think this is definitely one of those, right? TJ Houshmandzadeh, Chad Ochocinco, and then again, Jason Webster, Estrada, D'Angelo Hall. It's just one of those matchups that just makes you say, okay, who's going to win it, right? Who wants it more? Who's going to outdo the other guy? So this schedule ain't easy. It ain't hard, but we got a target on our back though, right? We're the Super Bowl champs. We have a target on our back. So we'll see. But again, We start at home against the New Orleans Saints. We'll unveil the banner. We'll celebrate. We'll pop some fireworks. We'll have some lemon pepper wings, all that, man. We're going to celebrate. And you can look forward to Falcons videos every Tuesday, okay? Every Tuesday. That's how this is going to work. I work full-time. I'm a sports broadcaster. I don't have the time to be a full-time YouTuber. I don't. Respect to the brothers that do have the time, but I cannot drop a video every single day or every other day, quite frankly. I feel like right now, the happy medium is you will get every Tuesday a video on the Atlanta Falcons 2K5 franchise. And every Thursday, you'll get Solomon Daniels. So look forward to this Thursday, an update on the San Francisco 49ers and Solomon Daniels as he goes into his second year after, going to the NFC Championship in his rookie year. So I look forward to all that football content. Hopefully you stick with me. Hope you like the intro video as well. I worked on that myself, did that one myself. So if you like it, let me know. If you don't like it, it took me a really long time to make it. You might just have to start skipping it. I'm sorry. But I look forward to this season, man. I look forward to it a lot. The 2005 Atlanta Falcons trying to repeat as Super Bowl champions. All right, y'all. It's your boy 5 Wars Deep. One love.